Good morning, everybody. Hi, Lynn. How are you this morning? Okay, so here I am into my last week of coming live because next week I go away. So we've just got today, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. And I've got a card for you today, which, okay, I might be flying by the seat of my pants a little bit on this one, but I'm sure we'll get there in the end. So, hi, Holly, how are you? Yeah, we'll just see how we go. So, I'm not going to do a lot of hoo-ha chatter this morning. I'm just, I think, going to go straight down to the desktop, and we can have a look at what we've got, and I will see if I can work it out again. All right, awesome. Okay, let's go. Change the camera. That's great. Okay, so changing of colors today because I always use pinks and purples. So I thought today I would go with, mind you, I could have gone with the blues, but I never go very much with greens and oranges or colors like that. So I decided this morning I'd go out of my comfort zone with that. And it turns out that I've actually gone possibly out of my comfort zone with the card this morning. All right, so this is the card that we're going to make this morning. It's called a Peekaboo slider card. So as you can see, there you go, slides and slides. Okay, so hi Kim, how are you today? Lovely to see you here. Yeah, it's really pretty actually, Holly. You can do so much with it, but it just there's a bit of fiddling around, but once you've done it, it's supposed to be quite easy. So keep your fingers crossed. This is just a piece of paper that I've got ready for my next card for tomorrow, but we'll leave that. You want a quick sneak peek of tomorrow's? Okay, quick sneak peek of tomorrow's is going to be this. All right, that's it. No more. It does have a belly band to hold it together as well. So, alrighty, so let's start. Where have I put my cut pieces here? So I'm going to keep that card there because believe me, I'm going to need to have a look at it. So, so we have this card here, and this is 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches, and it is scored at 4 1/4. So we can just fold that. This is actually going to be the inside of the card. All right, so we have that, and then we have this piece is 8 1/4 by 5 1/2, and it's scored at 2 3/4. This will actually be the front of the card. Okay, and then we have this piece, which is 5 3/4 by 5 1/2, and I've got a bit of glue on it there. And and on the 5 3/4 side, you score at 5 1/2. So you actually end up with a piece of card that should be 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. Okay, so you've got that little tiny piece there that you've scored and folded. Alrighty, now all we need to do is I've just got to cut some DSP before we. Now I just thought I would go back and I would use, these were the in colors for 24 to 26. And I bought a pack, and as usual, I hadn't used very much of it. So I think now is the time to do it. And this card lends itself nicely to using your 6x6s. Hi, Tanya. How are you this morning? Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. With this one, you'll notice that this came out of Changing Leaves, which is no longer available. And this one came out of Thoughtful Wishes, I believe. What I actually did was I went in there and had a look in my bit box and I pulled some bits out of there to do the decoration. Right, so let's have a look at, my cat's looking as though it's waiting to jump up on the table. He won't because he daren't. But anyway, so we're going to use for the card front. So this piece is the card front. Actually, it goes that way. That's right. So for the card front, we need a piece of 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to put this on the front, so that the yellow or orange or whatever we want to call it. So we want 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. So I've actually got a bit ahead of myself this week because I'm going to need the time to, at the end of the week, to get myself prepared. So, so that's what we've got for that, 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. And then we need 2 at 5 1/4 by 4, which will be these two. So I might do one green and one orange, yellow, whatever. So we're going at 5 1/4, 5 1/4, Lorraine, that's it, by 4. Now this, I've got to be careful because I've got to try and keep this. See, I didn't. It's going to go the different way. Bother. See if I've got another piece of that one. Oh, where did I put it? Well, for this card, it might just have to do. So you can see how I've got that. Actually, that one's 5 1/2 by 5. That solved that little problem, didn't it? Okay, so I've got to try and keep it directional. So I want the 4-inch to be that way. And make this one 5 1/4. That's, no, is that right? No, see, typical. How do we want it? I would have thought, yeah, the 4-inch that way, but I had the card wrong. Okay, let's try it again. If it's wrong this time, it's going on there wrong, I tell you. Okay, there we go. We've got it going the right way now. So we've got those two. You do end up with a few scraps with this one, especially if you do it wrong. Hi, Suzanne. How are you? It is quite pretty, isn't it? Like I said the other day, I sort of tend to buy the 6x6s and then I totally forget about them. But anyway, not to worry. We eventually use them. So before we do anything else, we are going to stick this down. Okay, I'm going to keep it with the same pattern all the way through, I think. So we're going to stick this down. To the front. Like so. And we're going to stick these two down. For the inside. Looks like the ray's not doing straight today. There's one. It's actually quite cool here today. I had to put a cardigan on. Okay. And that one there. So there's our inside, and this, believe it or not, is our outside. Stick that down there. I've got two blobs. I must have had two blobs of glue. Don't you hate that? All right. So we're now going to take this piece, which is our front piece, and I'm going to turn it over. Now what I'm using here is this size out of Textured Notes. So I'll give you a size just in case you don't have that. It's the cutting edge is approximately 2¼ by 3¾ So that's the cutting edge. Okay, that's the size you're going to need. However, if you don't have these, you can cut something similar. You can cut a circle. So if you've got something like these, you could make it a circle, you could make it a square. You choose the size, but whatever size you use, you're going to use it throughout. All right, now the next thing is I'm going to butt that up against, see where I've got that fold there? I'm just going to butt that up against there. And try and get it sort of fairly central. And I'm just going to draw around it like that. And then I can lift that out the way and draw down there. You'll see why I did that. Okay, so now up comes this. And I'm actually going to cut that out of there. All right, so we're just going to put it through the cut and emboss machine. So all I'm doing is lining that up with this, with that area that I put through on the pencil. Oh, neither side of my plate is particularly good. Okay, so just lining that up on there. And you know what, I might use washi tape. Please don't faint, anybody, because I do want it to stay where I put it. Now, of course, we're going to have to be careful when we take this off because it is going to be part of the card. So, all right, then we pop this through here. And take that through. Now I'm going to do it a couple of times because if you remember, I've already stuck DSP on the other side of that. So fingers crossed. And there we go. It has come out. And I'll just take, this is why I don't like washi tape. I dislike it intensely because if it sticks down too hard, it'll wreck the card. I'll have to get some, that's off. Sorry about this, people. And then I'm going to try and get it off of here. Right. Dear, oh dear. There you go. See, it's ripped that bit of card and that annoys me. Gone quiet, haven't I? Not very often. Make a note. Not very often Marie's quiet. And take it off of there. Hopefully that little bit up there won't show. All right, so that's on your paints. Oh, pants. Actually, that's a good idea, Holly. I will try that next time. So now, as you can see, we have this. Didn't put that on there very straight, did I? So we have this. So that is the front part of our card. All right, so that's that bit. Now, when it comes to the inside of the card, this is the bit where I've got to try and remember how I did it. Oh, that's right. So now, this is this part. And I believe, what am I going to do? Put that in there. Because this part of the card here, this center part here also has to have sorry, I'm just trying to have a look and see where I had to put that, because it is, yeah, that goes there. That's the front of the card. And then this piece here has to have, all right, has to have a hole in it as well. So which piece is that? Goodness me. This is where I really needed to see what I was doing. Just hi, Daryl. How are you? I'm fiddling at the moment. Okay, so which piece is that? That piece is that piece. I know that piece is right because that's the one I've done. And I'm just trying to work out which piece is this now. So that is that. Ah. So now I have to did I do that on the wrong piece? I think I might have, you know. No, because I remember cutting that. So oh dear. This is a bit sad, isn't it? What I really need to do is take the whole thing apart. That is that piece. That's it. Hang on. Then I need to, don't let me scare you with this, because really it isn't scary, okay? And we line that up with that, because that goes like that. Pretty sure this is how I did it. With that like that, that like that. And line that up there. Oh dear, I think this was it. Let's give it a go. I had a look just before I came on. That was why I was a bit late coming on, because I wanted to, so I put that there, which now gives me that bit is like that. And then that is like that. Is that correct? Nope. Yep, that's correct, like that. So now both pieces of this, no, not both pieces, that's the inside bit. Sorry, I am faffing here. That's the front. Goodness me. Sorry about this, people. Not usually like this. Then this goes like that. Okay, that's it. Beautiful. Right, so now we have to do a hole in this one and a hole in the other side as well. So we'll do this one. I'm pretty sure this is how it's going to work. If it doesn't, we will put it down to a good morning of chatter. How about that? I tried to find where I got this from this morning when I sat down. I'd run out of time. I'm not going to put that tape on this time. Let's just put that through. And it doesn't want to go. Right, let's see if that's just the one. And now, that's right. And now we do the same thing again. So, because I knew we ended up with three pieces of the cutout. We're not going to actually use three. And then we put this through here. Now, I'm sorry if I made that look difficult. It really isn't. You know what? It helps if you actually put the die in there. Dear, oh dear. I want to go home. There we go. This can be the comedy part of the morning. Right. Let's take that one out. And we should be done with that now. So once this is done, it's really a question of putting it together, which, believe me, isn't as hard as it might seem. All right, let me put that like that and that like that. So the first thing we do is we take, where's that piece with the little fold on it? There. All right, so the first thing we do is we, there's that one, like that. So what we do is we stick this one, we level it up to here, and we stick it down, but only we stick it down right the way down to there, but not onto the green part. Okay, so let's put that on. You know what, if I get through this alive, it'll be a miracle. Okay, just line that up nicely and stick that together. So now you have that will still fold that way. Now, this seems difficult, but it's not. This little piece that you've got here that we folded over, we pop that piece, we just put some glue on there, and I'll show you what I want to do because I only want it to be fine. I don't want it squishing out everywhere. So I'm just using the back of the, if you use Tombow, you can use tear and tape here if you want to, or you can use the roller. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to attach that little piece there to this part here. Okay, so we're just going to attach that to that, and we're going to give it a bit of time to stick. I don't want this sticky all over the place. Where's my, just feels a bit sticky there, and I'll clean it up afterwards. Okay, so now you can see when we, what's wrong there? Why isn't that sliding? When we open that, it is supposed to slide. Put that like that, that like that. Put that there. That there and that there. So when we open it, you will see that that slides in and out. So now what we're going to do is we're going to decorate. Firstly, we'll decorate the inside bit. So what we're going to, we've got one green and one, we've got two yellows, but we can either put the yellow down there so that it shows through first. So we can stick it through that one there. That's the yellow one. See if that one fits better. Nope, neither of them fit better. So we're just going to put it in under here. Okay, and then what we'll do is we will put the green one, so when that slides open, and it'll slide above that, we can put the green one in here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to mark that spot there. Take that out. And mark that spot there. And that's where we're going to put our colours. So the first one we said we were going to put the yellow or the orange or whatever we're going to call it. Hang on. Now one of those, yeah, that one. Just forget that one for a minute, because what I found was if you put one of those back in, it catches. So my husband came up with this idea that we don't actually do that. We put just a piece of paper in there like that. So we were going to use what? The yellow, weren't we? We might have to do it the other way around. So we can put the green in there, and then you can see when that slides, it's going to slide easily. Whereas if you put that in there, it actually catches. So let me have a look. Yeah, I've got another piece of the yellow. Yes, I do. So what I'll do is just cut a strip of the yellow so that it will fit in there like that. Is that big enough? Ooh, is it big enough to cover it? Yep. So we're just going to use that instead of using that piece there. And the reason being, like I said, is when this one slides, we don't want it catching. So I'm just going to pop that. Sorry, I'm working off there. And I'm just going to put that just on there. It's, oops, it still has exactly the same effect. It's just that it doesn't catch when it slides. And of course, the other one we want to do is this one here, where we will put the green. We'll put the little green thing back in. Isn't it funny how we all watch? Hi, Sue. Didn't see you come in. Sorry. Yep, I think it looks like we all watch about the same people. Oh, thank you for mentioning us, Holly. That's lovely. I've watched Dawn as well, Daryl. Okay, I think I've caught up. What am I doing? I'm putting that on there, aren't I? Okay, so just popping that piece down, and I really want to get it close to the edges because, again, it can stick, but it doesn't, not as much. So let's pop that over there like that. That down nice and flat. Now, here's our card. We have oh my goodness, Suzanne, really? I think it does it on its own sometimes, you know, because I've had that happen. Well, you know I've had that happen. It hasn't been the time that I've put. Alrighty. So there is the card. And after my little bit of faffing around, it didn't take so long and it wasn't quite so bad. I just want to get this glue off of here, which is going to be, it's not going to want to come, I suppose. I just use an ordinary rubber and it works just as well as the other rubbers. I'm going to have a bit of a spot there, but that'll be okay. I have the grunge look. All right, so now basically all we're doing is decorating. Now, you can't really put much decoration on here or on here because it's sliding. It's going to catch if we do that. All right, I could probably push that over a little bit more, but that's okay. Okay, so we're going to stamp. If we want to, we'll stamp straight onto those areas. And then here, because I had one of the pieces left, what I did was I just sort of like cut a piece just a little bit bigger. I'm keeping in with the, so this is what, 2 1/4. So if I cut this 2 1/2, is that long enough? Yep. And then that worked out perfectly. So I can cut that and I can put that on the outside like that, just to do some decoration on. Okay, now I haven't pre-cut anything, but let me get, oh, I forgot, look what arrived today. So my darling duckling and my refill, which is what Stampin' Up gave me because my other darling duckling wasn't very darling. This is what happened when I opened it. Let me move everything out of the way. This is what happened when I opened it. It all fell apart. So I rang them up and I told them, and they sent me a new one, and they sent me a refill, which is really lovely. It's really great to work with a company that actually supports you. And do you know, there was no, bye Lynn, there was absolutely no argument. I asked them if they wanted photos. They said no. I think I reported it Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday of last week, and it arrived in the letterbox this morning. It was rather funny actually, because I've ordered some clothes to take away with me, and my husband said, I think the postman put a parcel in the letterbox. I said, a parcel won't fit in the letterbox. He goes, yeah. He said, I'm pretty sure it is. So I said, okay, off he went. And he came back with this tinsy little parcel. And he goes, see, I told you your parcel was here. And I said to him, I ordered clothes. Like, there's not clothes in there. If there is, I'm really happy because I've shrunk. But, yeah, so it was that. And I thought, well, how great that they should get it to me so quickly. And then, not 2 minutes later, my brown box arrived. And I'm not going to say it was a big brown box, because it wasn't. It was, I had a lady that that ordered something from me. And I said to her, well, you're going to have to, I'm going to have to send off an order. And I'd only just sent one off. So I sent another one off with her stuff, and I put in a couple of kits, because, yeah, it's great, isn't it, Kim? I put in a couple of kits because that's what I want to do. I'm not going to do all of them on the plane, but it'll give me something different to do on the plane. So there we go. All right, so here's the card. Now it just comes to stamping and decorating. So I think I'm going to stick with, I don't know whether to go with the basic grey. I'm not sure that any of the greens are going to be dark enough. And I could try Timid Tiger on that and see if that shows up. Wish me luck. I might do a test on here first. So what wording are we going to do? I think I'll just do thank you. Only because I've got it here, and it means I don't have to go look for something else. And it's stuck to, seriously? Clearly isn't my day today, is it? I think on the top, I'll put thank you on the bottom one. I just want to double check it first that Timid Tiger is going to show up. Otherwise, so what do we think of the new colours? Do we like the new colours? A little bit round the edge there. That's probably not a good look. This is only a practice, isn't it? So, oh yeah, I think that comes up bright enough, don't you? Awesome. Oh, and I've got to use these today to clean because I noticed yesterday when I was stamping that my stamps were coming out a weirdy colour. And I checked my, you don't mind them, Daryl? I don't mind most of them. I have to say Darling Duckling was not one of my favourites. Oops. So we've got Thank You down there. And then I have to choose one for on the green. And I think I might go for I don't think Mossy Meadow or anything like that's going to go. So I'm going to use, it just says a little note of appreciation. So I just want to use the grey. And I'm going to stick this one up a bit more to the middle. Okay, it probably look good with a really big stamp in there or a much bigger stamp, but that will do. So in this one, I did Thank You on the front, and I did a little note of appreciation on the bottom. Okay, so you can see how that has, I like the strawberry slush. I love the Sacred Sea. I absolutely love that. Secret Sea. Secret Sea. Get it right. What else? Well, I don't mind the cloud cover. Yeah, strawberry slush is okay. It was the Darling Duckling that I wasn't overly impressed with, but you know what? There's been others that I haven't been overly impressed with, and then after a while, they've sort of come into their own. They've made it that you want to use them. So, or the other thing is, like my other thing is that quite often I see someone else use them and then think, oh, why haven't I used that before? So watching others is really, really good. It's good because you get ideas that you would probably not have had. Okay. I don't know why this is all sticking to each other, but it is. Put that back in there and that back in there. And now basically all it is just to decorate. So for today, I thought I would use possibly this and possibly this. Oh, I don't mind that green either. Anyway, I'm just going to cut out some greens. So what we're looking for is not those. Whoops. I think that one will work. So that is, this is also out of the 24-26 papers. So I can use that one, I think. And then I also want to use something in the yellow-orange tone. So look, we've been talking about it. How about we try a bit of Darling Duckling, just so that we can. Or if we don't use the Darling Duckling, we can go with the Timid Tiger. I'm not sure that'll look right in Timid Tiger. Oh, let's give it all a go. Why not? Need to cut these down. These are just so that they'll go through the machine. And we'll have a look at which ones we're going to use. So I think we'll definitely use this beautiful, it's like a fern. So I'll put that on there. So these are out of the Beautiful Motifs. If you could see my desk, honestly and seriously. Okay, so this is what we've got there. And then we'll do, maybe we'll do 2 of these, or do 1 of those. Pop that in there. After you've been putting those, the double thickness through and that sort of thing, it's so much easier to do these. And then let's do, so this one needs a bit of popping out before we, I thought I'd actually ordered one of those brushes, but maybe I haven't. Certainly didn't come through in this box. Yeah, I will use it, Holly. That's not a problem. I use all sorts. And I've got another. I'm trying to get ready to do some bits and pieces for while I'm away. Whether I get that chance or not, I don't know. I still seem to have so much to do, and I have to work tomorrow. So it's all very it's all stuff that I suppose I could have done the recordings before, but the trouble is I always have so much to do on my days off. I'm never like not busy. So oh, come on, I want you to come out. Don't stay in there forever. There we go. Still doesn't want to come out. That one and that one. He's rather cute, but it's rather. There we go. So we have 2 of those. That's as far as I'm going with that. So I thought what we would do, we would have the leaf, and then we can either have the yellow, which I think actually gets a bit lost, or go away. My goodness, they're very attached to each other. Or we can do the, I'll get all the bits out in a minute. Or we can do this one, which I think looks a bit better. What do you think? Although it looks a bit dull, whereas, what do you think? Do you like the orange or do you like the yellow? Let me take a bit of that. Let's take these bits and pieces out of here. So we're definitely going to go with the green. Yes, the orange looked good. Okay, whoever goes first, you know my rule. Whoever steps in first gets the... So I'm thinking that probably with that, we'll do that. Let's get my... that one. You know, it was really funny because when Mum was here and she was helping me out, it was so good. You don't realize how good it is if you've got someone that's helping you do just the little stuff. Like Mum was cleaning off my stamps as I was going, and she was doing all sorts of little bits and pieces for me, which at the time was quite weird, but it's really good. I'm missing it. Okay, just a little bit of glue on the pad and then dab it onto here. Saves you getting glue everywhere, and you're not going to have big blobs on you. And I should have done that one second. Okay, so let's can you tell that I've got other things on my mind today? I know I can be a bit scatty sometimes, but I'm not usually quite this scatty. It is nice to have an assistant. It's very nice to have an assistant. Right. So I'm just going to pop that on there. Now, one of the other things that I learned with this one, try not to have it hanging over the edge because it will catch when it's going through. So I'm just going to put that one there. I think that looks quite good. I haven't popped any of it up. I'm just leaving it flat. Put that in there, and those can go in there. All right, so far, this is what we have. After my bit of a muddle, which I will sort out, and I will at some stage go through that part of it with you again because it's not hard. It was just me being in a tizwas. All right, so let's use some bling. So I do actually, oh, I got these too. These are the new in colors, but in the Stampin' Right markers. Where is, not those. So those were the 24-26 in color dots. So I'm thinking I might use those. Just to add a bit of, yeah, Stampin' Right markers. So I will get the blends as well, but I'm thinking for now the markers will be fine. So I was thinking that if I put a large, that's the wrong green, it's this green. If I put one of those there, and then I'd like to put another one there, and then just another one next to it. Like that. Okay, that's that. And then also, I thought these looked quite good just for a little bit of extra down in here. So I put a bird and another bird down in there, and then I can do the same here. So a bird, and the other one I think I did what do you call them? Dragonflies. Okay, there's our card. Okay. Oh, Kim, we don't have paper pumpkin, and I did ask Donna what it's about, and she said that they had trialed it here, but it didn't work, but it seems really good. Okay, so here's our card for today. I'm just going to pull that across like that, and that like that, and when it stands up, it stands like that. So you can actually see whichever. You can stand it so that you've got a bit of, sorry, it's hard to show you, a bit of both. Okay, but that is the card. Now you can decorate in here as well, of course, if that's what you choose to do. Actually, I might look at putting, have I got a ready-made bow anywhere? Probably not. That's not long enough. Oh, look what I've got down here. I've got a, oh, hang on, ready-made bow. Yes, look at that, a ready-made bow. I could put, this is the iridescent one, so I could actually put that on there like that. Might do that. Not usually, I'm not overly a bow person. I put them on occasionally, but the only reason I'm really doing it is I want to cover up those stems. Which way did that go? That way. There we go. Why are you doing that? Did I put that on the wrong side or something? Now I pulled that off. I don't think I like, oh, sugar. Don't think I like that bow much. Make it smaller. There we go. A bit of a bow on there. Probably do without it. You couldn't find the Lady Sylvie. Okay. Put a green stone there. I can do that. You mean move this one? Is there an E on the end of her name? I'm not sure. Let me, I had it on this on here and I've probably got rid of it now because I wrote it all up there for you yesterday. All right, let's put another green stone on the bottom. Think that'll work? Should I take that one off now? Maybe put that. And where's my little snips? It's like a card kit and other demonstrators do alternate switch. Oh, okay. It does sound good. I remember in one of our team meetings, I'd seen it come up several times, and yeah, I'd seen it come up several times. So I asked Donna, "Is that more like it with the with that down the bottom?" And there we go. There's our card for today. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with me today. I really appreciate it. I have to apologize for making everything look so difficult when it's not difficult at all. It was just that placing, and I think I got myself in a bit of a tizwas because I couldn't find the thing. But that's the cards. Okay, you can see they weren't really that hard, and I will I'll cut all the pieces again, and I will show you again on another video how they actually go together. All right, just let me pop up to the other camera. Okay, so that's me for today. I have another card for you tomorrow, as I showed you before. I'm just going to try and get that all sorted out. So Suzanne's about to start over on her channel now. under Susie D. So if you'd like to pop over there, but if you haven't already subscribed, if you could subscribe, give me a thumbs up, like, share, whatever you feel like doing, that would be absolutely wonderful. Mum, you're a bit late. I'm just going. I was just saying I missed you. I missed you cleaning my stamps and keeping me in order. All righty. I'm off and I will see you all again tomorrow. Bye for now.